The physical world vanished like a dissipating mist. There was no darkness, only a smooth transition into a clarity that didn't hurt the eyes. I found myself standing in a valley that seemed to have no end, where the grass was such a vibrant green that it seemed to glow. In the distance, mountains crowned with silvery snow rose against a deep blue sky, dotted with clouds that shifted shape to the rhythm of music that wasn't heard with the ears, but with the soul. The air smelled of jasmine, of earth damp after rain, and of something else, of home. In the middle of this paradise, beside a river of crystal clear water that flowed with the sound of distant laughter, he was there. He wasn't wearing golden robes, but simple white clothes worn from the journey. He was sitting on a smooth stone, gazing at the water. As I approached, my heart, which usually pounded with the anxieties of the world, suddenly calmed. He stood up and smiled at me. His eyes weren't just looking at me. They knew me. "You've brought many questions in your luggage," he said in a voice like the whisper of the wind through the pines. "Release them. This ground is sacred, and here the truth needs no defense." I sat beside him, but my chest filled with pent-up anguish. I couldn't simply enjoy the scenery while the world I left behind crumbled to pieces. "How can you be so calm?" I asked, my voice trembling. "Down there, there's war. There are children who don't know bread, only the sound of bombs. There's hatred that runs like fire through social media, through the streets, through families. If you are the creator, if you are love itself, why do you allow us to destroy each other? Why the silence in the face of cruelty?" Jesus picked up a small stone from the ground and gazed at it tenderly before speaking. "My son, freedom is the most dangerous and beautiful gift I have given to humankind. If I were to stop the hand of the one who strikes, I would also have to take away the will of the one who loves. Love that is forced is not love. It is mechanical obedience." He turned to me, and his gaze was a mixture of infinite sadness and hope. "War is not my will. It is the absence of my presence in the human heart. I do not remain silent. I weep in every trench and suffer with every wound. But humanity has preferred to build walls with the stones I gave them to build bridges. You ask me why I allow it. I ask you, why do you, who have the power to stop it with a gesture of compassion, choose to look the other way? Peace is not a miracle that falls from the sky. It is a seed that you must plant in the soil of forgiveness." I lowered my head, feeling the weight of his truth. "But people are losing faith," I insisted. "The world is so dark that no one believes in what they cannot see. We feel orphaned. It seems humanity is headed for its own destruction, and you're just watching from this beautiful place." He extended his hand toward the river and pointed to the sun's reflections on the water. "Faith isn't believing I'll do everything for you, but trusting that I'm with you while you do it. The lack of faith you see is, in reality, an overconfidence in the ego. Humankind has tried to sit on the throne of the universe and has realized the seat is too big and cold." He paused, letting the sound of the water fill the space. "The destruction you fear isn't the end of the world. It's the end of a way of life that no longer serves its purpose. Hatred is just a cry for help from someone who has forgotten their origin. For a wheat seed to bear fruit, its husk must first break in the darkness of the earth. Humanity is in that process, breaking its shell of pride. They aren't destroying themselves. They're transforming, even though the pain of metamorphosis makes them think it's the end. The destruction you fear isn't the end of the world. It's the end of a way of life that no longer serves its purpose. Hatred is merely a cry for help from someone who has forgotten their origin. For a wheat seed to bear fruit, its husk must first break in the darkness of the earth. Humanity is in that process, breaking its shell of pride. They aren't destroying themselves. They're transforming, even though the pain of metamorphosis makes them think it's the end. These are not the end of themselves. And why does the path have to be so painful? I asked, almost in a whisper. Why allow evil to have so much space? Jesus came closer and placed a hand on my shoulder. I felt a warmth spread up my spine, easing years of weariness. Evil is like a shadow. It has no substance of its own. It is only the place where the light has not yet reached. I allow night to fall so that you may long for the dawn. If you did not know hunger, you would not seek the bread of life. If you did not know loneliness, you would not seek connection. He looked at me deeply, as if he wanted to etch his words into my very being. Do not fear for humanity. Love is the oldest force in the universe, and hatred is only a newcomer. In the end, everything that is not love will fade away, because it has no eternal root. You did not come here to save the world. You came to learn to love the person next to you. If each of you lit your little lamp, the darkness would have nowhere to hide. The landscape began to glow with an unbearable, yet beautiful, intensity. I knew the dream was ending. Don't let me return to that chaos, I pleaded. You don't return alone, he replied, his figure beginning to merge with the light. You carry the garden with you. Every time you choose patience over anger, every time you look with mercy upon the one who offends you, you will be back in this place. Eternity is not a place you go to. It is a state of the heart you create. I awoke. My room was dimly lit, the sounds of the city drifting outside. But for a moment, the air still smelled of jasmine, and the anguish that had gripped my chest had transformed into a small, gentle, steady flame. If this message touched your heart, please subscribe to join our spiritual journey.